My dear friends, welcome to Uncaged Zoo Tours. If you are new to the channel and love animals, I recommend and appreciate hitting the like and subscribe buttons and the bell icon to join me on my tours. My dear friends, we're once again back at ZooTampa, and today we'll be showcasing the rest of ZooTampa's Safari Africa section. Please refer to my Safari Africa at ZooTampa Part 1 tour to see penguins, a cute porcupine, 3 different tortoises, nyalas, giraffes, and go behind the scenes to see one of their elephants. Now let's grab our pith helmets and cameras, and let's begin. So we left off with the African elephants, and next door is the Rhino Reserve, home to southern white rhinos. The word rhino means kifaru in Swahili, and ZooTampa is home to 7 white rhinos, including a baby that was born behind the scenes in October 2023. But the youngest out on exhibit are females Ruby and Kayan. In the wild, southern white rhinos are pregnant for 16 to 18 months, and they only give birth every 2 to 5 years. When they're born, a baby rhino, called a calf, weighs almost as much as an adult like me. Sometimes, a female rhino will give birth to twins, but that rarely happens. Unlike other animals, a rhino calf will take 2 to 3 days to stand on their feet and walk. During this time, the female is very protective and will use their keratin horn to fight off any predators that want to eat the calf. A rhino calf will stay with its mother for the next 36 months, which is 3 years. The calf will eventually leave its mother when they mature. Unlike black rhinos, white rhinos are more social. Now, across from the rhinos is one of the rarest African animals in a North American zoo. My dear friends, I would like to introduce you to the shoebill, which means korongo in Swahili. Nice to have you on my tour, Zero and Lady Bill. Although they look like a Muppet, shoebills are related to hammercobs and pelicans, and they're all in the same order. The stork part of their name comes from their stork-like appearance. They mostly stay silent, but they can bill clatter to greet each other and even moo like a cow, while their chicks hiccup when begging for food. Shoebills also stay motionless when waiting for food in shallow water, and will eat fish and even baby crocodiles. They also live in areas where there is less oxygen in the water because the fish will have to come up for air, which makes fishing for dinner a lot easier. Shoebills will cool their eggs by egg watering them. They put water over their eggs to prevent them from overheating. The shoebill is definitely one of the many reasons why you should visit ZooTampa, because they can be found at one other facility in the United States. And the best time to see Zero and Lady Bill is at 3:30 p.m. towards the end of the day, and it's always a treat to see them eat trout with their beaks. Now, the shoebill is part of a later edition of Safari Africa, the Uturi Forest, which is based on one of Africa's rainforests. And one animal I think of from that tropical habitat is the pygmyhippo. I haven't talked about these guys since my South America at the Montgomery Zoo tour. Like I said in that tour, pygmy hippos spend more time on land than their savanna cousins, but they still love to relax in the water. Unlike their savanna cousins, pygmy hippos are solitary, which means they spend their time alone aside from mating and raising children. When 2 pygmy hippos do come into contact, they ignore each other. Despite everything I just said, all the information we know about pygmy hippos comes from studying them in managed care, and little is known about pygmy hippos in the wild. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time since my African Penguin Point and Predator Ridge at the Denver Zoo tour, the painted dog, which is also known as the African wild dog. Painted dogs have 42 teeth, the same amount as a grizzly bear or a gray wolf, which can be used to bite into their prey. Occasionally, the zoo will host carcass feeds to demonstrate the painted dog's hunting behavior. But in the wild, painted dogs are endangered because of habitat loss and human conflict, which can cause the dogs to get caught in snare traps. In Zimbabwe, Anti-poaching teams remove the snares and send them to an art center. Artists turn the snares into sculptures, which you can buy to help the painted dog conservation save these misunderstood wild dogs. I mean, a snare sculpture shaped like a rhino would be a great present. Let's see. The next animal on our tour is also from Africa's rainforests. It's Zach the okapi, which means sawa in Swahili. Like their pygmyhippo neighbors, okapis live solitary lives, but they're not territorial, and their home ranges often overlap. They have scent glands on their feet that leave behind a tar-like substance that signals their movements. Like giraffes, okapis use vocal communication, but it's too low for humans to hear. Don't worry, we'll get to learn more about the okapi and its secrets when we visit the Congo gorilla forest at the Bronx Zoo. As we move on, I can't forget about these colorful redriverhogs. Like warthogs, redriverhogs will fight by pressing their foreheads together and butting heads, and they have bumps on their skin to protect their eyes. But this pig is trying to butt heads with some hanging wood. According to the zoo's upcoming master plan, the redriverhogs will live in a brand new habitat with gorillas, and the area will also have lions, and a brand new habitat for colobus monkeys. Now, the last two exhibits are right near the main entrance. The first contains a Von der Decken hornbill and a masked lapwing, and the second contains a wattled crane. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our final stop is a ride on Expedition Africa. It's free, and it showcases some behind-the-scenes areas, but the zoo treats it as an African safari. It's like Disney's Jungle Cruise on land. Oh, and here's the ride's host, Professor Ron.
Hello, interns, and welcome to the Hawaii Preserve. My name is Professor Ron, and I am so happy to have you joining our team. I started my career at ZooTampa at Lowry Park many years ago, and I am so proud of the work that we've been able to do together here at the Preserve. Not only do we conduct our own groundbreaking research, but we also partner with other conservation groups to protect wildlife and wild places. By completing our internship program, you can make a difference too.
Those are some very inspiring words, Professor, and we are all honored to be your interns. Let's get in. As our driver takes us on the ride of conservation, look to your right, and you might see potass monkeys. But the next exhibit contains some more animals, like eastern bongos. But I would like to give the spotlight to the maraboustork. Though their legs and feet are gray, maraboustorks poop on their legs, and scientists believe they do this to cool down. That's enough poop facts for one tour, but on a not-so-gross note, maraboustorks recycle their nests, but they have to repair them. See you later, my marabou friends. Oh, Professor Ron is calling. Jacob to Professor Ron, come in.
Hi there. It's good to hear from you. I was trying to wait for you guys, but I just saw the coolest thing ahead in the brush. I had to follow it to see what it was. You guys have got to get up there. It's incredible.
Thank you, Professor. I think you're talking about the okapi, which me and everyone else saw earlier. Oh, and if you look to your left, you might see the back of the painted dog exhibit. They're so cute when they're sleeping. Oh, and Professor Ron has another update. Are you there? Over?
I'm doing great. I was just checking in on our pack of painted dogs, and I saw the most amazing thing. They started to chase their prey at 40 miles per hour, and I ran to catch up. My hat must have fallen behind. Thought I might have better luck if I just jumped in my research mobile. So I drove ahead, but I don't crash. Get it?
Hope I don't crash? Oh, I get what he's talking about. A group of rhinos is called a crash. And there's the rhinos we saw earlier. When writing Expedition Africa, I never expected their white rhino exhibit to be so big. I mean, white rhinos are the largest of the 5 rhino species. I just hope Professor Ron gets his hat back soon. Speaking of which, his vehicle looks damaged. Professor Ron, are you okay? Come in!
I'm okay. The rhinos decided to use my research mobile to plow their home. They got a little overzealous, and one of them punctured my tire.
At least two.
I went the rest of the way on foot. I must have left my binoculars behind by accident.
Maybe
Oh no. But I definitely did not need them to see the animal up ahead. It's huge. I'm almost back to the loading dock, so I should see you guys there soon. Over.
Alright, 10-4, Professor Pygmy.
I'm glad he's okay, but I'm not sure if a keratin horn can pop a tire. I mean, keratin is made of the same material as our hair and fingernails. Maybe if the rhino sharpens its horn enough, but I know what animal Professor Ron is talking about. Sudla, the African elephant, weighs around 10,000 pounds, which is 5 tons. As the truck continues, we might see the main elephant exhibit, the night house where the elephants go to do training demonstrations, and the veterinary hospital where the keepers do checkups on the animals when they are sick or hurt or when it's time for their yearly checkup. Going to the doctor isn't fun, but the keepers care deeply for their animals like their own family. And how could I forget the Nyala exhibit? You might also briefly see the tourist behind the scenes encounter. And we're back at the loading dock. Professor Ron has one more update.
I'm so sorry I missed you, but congratulations on completing your orientation today.
Thank you, Professor Ron. I'm honored to say that finally wraps up part 2 of Safari Africa. This area was the highlight of my visit to ZooTampa, because seeing such a rare bird in an American zoo and going on a safari ride will make your visit much more memorable. Plus, going behind the scenes will help too. Now with that out of the way, it's time to vote. Which exhibit from ZooTampa would you like to see next? If we visit the Wallaroo Station, it will be our first Australian-focused tour, and we'll meet very active koalas, goats, llamas, and one of the few yellow-footed rock wallabies in the United States. Our second choice is a 2-in-1 of the aviary and Asia, where we'll meet tigers, a swimming tapir, our first lowland Anoa and Inca terns, the return of the sun bear and binturong, and even go behind the scenes to feed an Indian rhino. Our final choice is Primate World, where we'll meet lemurs, colobus monkeys, baboons, and some loud Siamangs. We'll also meet a very large family of Bornean orangutans, which includes a baby orangutan. Today's question is, what is the other facility in the United States that has shoebills? As always, thank you for subscribing and thank you for watching. Now if you excuse me, I have to buy a new tire and help Professor Ron find his hat and binoculars.